how would you like to achieve your first million in sales? And today we have Jon, an amazing photographer and educator with over 15 years of experience who have pioneered a revolutionary approach to authentic expression of photography. Jon discovered that while technical excellence is essential, it's capture of authentic expression that truly drives results and creates meaningful connection. A good photo can get you way far in your business, in your career. I know this for a fact because I done it from in our career. So, and we have very good photos that make a big difference. So Jon, tell us, what are the 5 steps that you recommend entrepreneurs out there in order to sell the first million?
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Trust your guts. Like if you have an inspiration and you might think, oh, it's not, I'm not good enough for it. Like, no, you are. And really trust your inspiration, trust your guts.
Wow, very powerful.
And really go for that. And sometimes you might think, oh, I want this thing, but it's not really possible. So even on another level, really open up the door that maybe it really is possible to really not have to water it down to fit the market. But what if your absolute truth as it really is also desired by other people out there, and there is a path that your real truth, not a watered down truth to fit the market, is actually good enough. There's other thing, and I'm just going to throw it out there, and I'm not pushing it, but there's this thing called access consciousness. It's a process that I've worked with, but really what it's about is leave space for your own self-judgments to be absolute bull, your own sense of limitations it's really stuff you've made up in your life through all kinds of ridiculous things, from like the way your sister looked at you when you were 5 years old, or it's like absolute ridiculous things. Like 100% of those limitations are not real. And just by asking simple questions of like, what else is possible? There's certain questions you can ask to really open up the door to seeing the more that is you and that is possible. There's really, let's see, you can have it all. Just keep that space of truth that you really can have it all. And number 10 is this book I read. It's called 10X is Easier Than 2X. It's by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. And I'm in Costa Rica now, and that's really what got me here, is knowing that how ridiculous it sounds, but going for the moon is actually easier than going like the normal steps of building and building and building, because to get to like that 10x, there's only going to be one or two ways of getting there, and it's crazily easier than doing a little bit at a time.
I agree 100%.
That was 5.
Yeah. Wow, Jon, thank you so much. And now let's talk about the power of a photo. Like I said, we own a book publishing company, and my girlfriend own a book publishing company. And every time that we go to do the book covers for the authors, we have our photographer, and we take like over 2,000 pictures, and we have to guide the photographer like this, and he prepared a special screen, a special display for us, for me and Lily, to see the pictures, yeah. And it's us, when we have the picture that we really need it for that cover. It depends on what the book expresses and so on. We tell the photographer, okay, that's enough. We got it. We have the winning pictures already there. So, and the photographer is telling about what is it? I said, well, don't worry. When you see the book, you will see. And sometimes when we show the book, the guy is like, wow, I took this picture. I say, yeah, you did. So the thing is, Jon, when you start to realize that that is a second and a third dimension of what a photo can express in order of the purpose, rather than what is could be the standard high quality photo that is empty in terms of expression, in terms of meaning. And completely different is when you put a photo, like I said, if you have a book that you got exactly the same example that you put, right? How you will take a picture of a book that calls 10x is easier than 2x, yeah? And let's suppose that I'm the writer, right? So now it's calling you, John, you have to take a picture of me. Now you're not going just to hate that. You know the title of my book, and you know that you have to be congruent my picture with that title, and this is something that is really difficult to do. You need a sixth sense. Um, so tell us how you unlock onto that uh, another level, onto that dimension of photography to get a meaning, because it's like it becomes like a painting, right?
Yeah, great question, Harry. So my expertise is actually not in that specifically, and I'll tell you. So it's really for mostly for service orient anybody in a service oriented job. And so it's almost exactly what you're saying, but just a little bit different. I want to share the difference. So for a lawyer or a therapist, my specialty and what I have to share and almost open the door for other photographers to let them know it's possible and it
Mm-hmm.
should be required if they're going to be a not just a photographer, they're a marketer for their clients. And when a client is coming in and say, let's say he's a coach or a therapist, says, I need a headshot. They're not saying I need a headshot. They're saying I need more work. And so what I claim is possible is that I could bring out that side of the person that is what their target audience is looking for. Like for example, for a therapist, right? Most likely they're looking for somebody that's warm, that's open, but it's also an expert. They don't want to be just chit-chatting with somebody forever. They want to be better. So they're
Mm-hmm.
looking for something that in second level you're talking about that's beyond this looking professional. It's, oh, I think I get you. And what I get is that you're like an open kind of person and I could feel safe.
Approachable.
You're approachable and
Yeah.
I can feel that you're also the expert. So I'm not going to be just chit-chatting with you forever. I'm
And
going to
the
get some.
and the photo had to express all this.
Yes.
Oh my God, tough.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then, yeah. So you're wondering how? Are you wondering how do I do that?
No, I got the idea
Okay.
because we're doing with the books, and I know it's really complex. But you have to. But tell us how you do it. Tell us most important how you design your own process. Because
Well,
I
first of all,
when you're working for a lawyer, then now you have a therapist. Now you have to create that photo of that set of photo for the entrepreneur that
yeah,
is aligned more with the values, with the culture of the business,
yeah.
and and again, if that photo is not congruent, could be a sense of disconnection between the clients, and also it's something that we work a lot is with the personal brand, right?
Right.
You have a corporate brand and you have a personal brand, so the photo. That you have out there is where what defines your personal brand. So, like I said before the broadcast, we work with a lot of photographers, and actually, the photographers and the people that work with us during filming the events, um, they come with us. We want to say with me and Lily, and they know exactly how we want the things because we have spent time training them and spending time with them to tell exactly what we want out of. It's not when they're going to record at an event or when they go to take our pictures. It's just not go and record or just take pictures. They already know what we're looking for, what with the outcome that we want of the photo, what kind of expressions we want, X, Y, and Z. And And I think that Lily and I, we was discussing once that we are, because we repeat the same all the time. Yeah, we were thinking to create like a link, like a booklet for the photographer and the video, or for the new ones, because when we do these gala awards, then we have our core team, but then we have a lot of extra photographers that arrive to, sometimes the celebrities, they bring their own photographs and so on. And we also have to guide them and say, look, guys, I know you be photographing this severity, but you make sure that, the photos with this angle capture this type of people, and the try to capture the feeling that we want to express with the band and so on. Yeah. So John, when you start to discover that there was magic behind a photo, and actually the way that the photo is taken and the way that the person is dressed and being seen in the picture can have a positive or negative impact in the personal brand, actually in the business of the people.
Well, when I first did dating photography, I was just, noticing that that it was happening by itself. But I kind of, do you mind if I go back and answer the question you
Yes,
were,
yes, yes.
okay, so you were asking like, how do I work with, so I think I do something very similar that you do with your photographers. So so I kind of want to redefine photography or headshot, like almost I would like a paradigm shift in the well that right now priority around photography, headshot photography is it has to be a beautiful photo with lighting and it's like you don't get it. Like that's only takes the photo this way. The next level
It looks
is
fake, John. It looks fake. When you see a photo like that, like
right.
taken with this professional photographer with this light and everything, you know what you're talking about. You do what we're talking about. You do this for a living. It's it's an amazing headshot, but when you see that photo, it looks fake. So nothing to
Actually,
do.
but
Happy to, yeah, go
I'm gonna
ahead, go ahead.
disagree with you to disagree with you a
Yes.
little bit. It's not necessarily for me that it looks fake, but what it is, it doesn't it doesn't give it the extra the real work is at that next level. The real work is not the lighting and the pretty. The pretty photo, you're right, it looks fake. It's not genuine. But if the photographer knew how to take it to the next level, that next level is really what will make the viewer say, "Oh, I think I know you. I think I like you. I think I want to give you a call." And
100%.
that takes a particular
100%.
expert and that takes a particular expertise to know how to capture not just any kind of authenticity, but to even sculpt the very specific side of somebody that their audience will want to see. Like that will be one thing for a lawyer, you know, I'm gonna win the, and or a therapist or a real estate agent. That side, that personality could be different. So if there was that possibility to sculpt a particular side of them, that would be like you just won the lottery. And part of the process that I have is just simply to let photographers know they're not just a photographer usually. They're a marketer. So the first step is
Absolutely.
out from their client, who are you? What is your business? What are your
100%.
what are your people looking for? And then to really
100%.
find out, to know how they need to sculpt their work to fit the right audience. And without that, they're not doing their job.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that I'm glad that you touching this point, John, because you want to, when you see that photo, you have to be able to give you an emotion, right? That
Right.
photo have to awaken an emotion in somebody that is looking at that
Exactly.
photo.
Exactly.
And this is what we call it with the challenges. And again, we 100% agree with what you say, that when we go with our authors, right? We already, before we take them to the photo shoot, yeah, because they
Yep.
write in the book with us, we already know everything about them. We
Yep.
know the personality, we know the values, we know, and even could be two therapists, yeah, and 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 they can have a slightly different
Right.
type of photo because of the values of the personality of
Yeah,
what they represent,
absolutely.
and sometimes, well, sometimes no, most of the time, regardless that our authors they we tend to bring their own clothes, we also bring clothes, yeah,
Yep.
and things, and after they try with their things, we said, okay, try this or try that one, and sometimes Lily, my girlfriend, take my ties, my jackets to the photo sessions. I said, why are you going with this? I said, look, I'm doing a photo shoot for an author. He's getting his own clothes, but I know that
Right.
this type of thing
He's
is
gonna need help.
where we actually enhance what he's looking for. And most of the time, our authors end up wearing the the clothes and the things that we take to a photo shoot because exactly what you described, we know them by when they tell us what kind of book they want to write, why they want to write this book, what they want to read. They share with us so much about the value, the personality, and what they actually want to achieve. That now we know that how to work with that photographer, how this person should portray itself in order to have an alignment, the course
Yeah.
values, yeah, with actually the book that they're writing. Because guess what?
Yeah.
This you're not their personality. If you change that personality in the photo, guess what happened? Which is actually we've seen a lot. Um, because it doesn't align, then when the person is out there,
Right.
is behaving completely different how the photo
Yeah.
looks. And now the people
Yeah.
again are confused. And if you confuse, like I said in business, if you confuse them, you lose them.
Yeah.
So it has to be standard. But John, this is tell us a little bit more about your beginnings. Yeah, when you start to taking the photos for the dating, the women that they were over 50, and they want to date again, and now you start to take the photos of these women, and you find out that you were doing something different. That actually the photo was empowered them. The photo is
Yeah.
enhancing confidence in those
Yeah.
women. The photo was giving them
Absolutely.
courage and and making them believe in themselves. Um,
Exactly.
how this happened? It happened by accident? Do you have a sense? Do you really want to help this woman? What made you to go to the extra mile and start to find this second and third dimension behind photography that I find it fascinating, and uh, we love it. And sometimes people tell us how we do this, how you create this photo for our clients, and we tell them, look, honestly, we have done it so many times that we just know when it's good. We just know it's just experience. So what, John, when you find out that it was magic behind these photos that you take?
Pretty much immediately, it was kind of like I was, and here's like the story that, I went to school for teaching and I did a lot of other careers relating to like emotional, health with kids. And then I decided to go into photography just for myself because I just loved it. And it was almost like I won the lottery. Like one night I was just noticing that, oh my God, you know, these women were being changed in front of me. And I think it was a combination of just, I don't even know, like the way that I was working with them, I was seeing them in a way they were not seeing themselves. And somehow they were able to really trust me that I wasn't hitting on them. I wasn't just doing it for the photo. I was saying things about them that I was seeing something in a way that they were not seeing themselves, and they were able to really take it in and then click. So I'm taking it, seeing them in this elevated state that they didn't even know that they were that, and then capturing these beautiful pictures of them as of course I would do. But it wasn't just they were beautiful because these women were so insecure that they would easily say, "Oh, you did a great job, great
Mm-hmm.
lighting, great makeup, you're a great photographer." But somehow it was different. They were able to look at the photo and go and not do that, but go, "Oh my God, I didn't know I was that." Like to really take it in. And that was because of this other thing that I now know is essential for to really make the photos work the way they should is to add an element of candidness to even headshots, because when there's an element of truth in the photo, it just completely transforms the photo from being just a picture to being
Mm-hmm.
a slice of truth that's actually undeniable. So it's not just believable. Actually, it's my goal is the photo should be undeniable. So to break through
Wow.
somebody's own resistance to have to believe in it. So, oh my God, I didn't know how amazing I was. And so for your entrepreneurs, for your people that are watching, it's like if you can find a photographer that could do that, you can almost like I recommend to my dating clients to have that photo next to you while you're starting to chat with somebody, because you'll be seeing yourself as the
Uh-huh.
catch
Yes.
and
Yes.
interacting like, no, I'm not a
And the
loser.
photo
I'm
can
kind of
empower you. The photo can actually empower
absolutely.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, have
absolutely.
the photo, this photo in the social media profile, in your wallet, everywhere. So every time that you look at the photo empower you. I get you 100% what you're talking about. But here's the thing, John. The problem that we have, I think that you're very kind that you have made those photos accessible to the masses. Yeah, I have a cousin that is a celebrity. Yeah, and he's an artist. He paints, and he used to live in New York. And he used to tell me, Harry, if in New York you're not photographed for this or this photographer, you are a nobody. So, meaning that there are certain photographers out there can capture everything that we're talking about here, but they are very expensive, right? It's not that that is affordable for the masses. I think this is what my understanding what my cousin shared with me, right? He was telling me that in the high level of New York society, there are certain photographers that they have so much high profile, and if the photographer took a picture of you, you're part of the gang of the luxury and the wealthy. But if this photographer hasn't taken a picture, like he was telling me, you are a nobody. So how do you see this, John? How can we bring this a photo to the masses? Because this is what we're talking about. And photographers with this extra skill, in my opinion, they are out there. Uh, they're just they charge a lot of money. They only work for the rich people, for the wealthy.
I don't
Um,
think so. I don't think so. So my sense of to me that's I'm not no offense or
no,
nothing,
no, no,
but
no,
to
no,
me
no. This
I'm
this
gonna
is
say something. So
go for it. You're
that
in the space.
level,
I'm just commenting you
no, I'm just
what
gonna
I
say something.
heard.
No, I'm gonna say something. So that's kind of nonsense about. Don't mean that what you're saying is nonsense. The different levels of photographer, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. Like the most epic, gorgeous photo might not do the job it's meant to do. And to know how to accomplish the job it's meant to do is not rocket science, but it's something different. It's having just that skill and awareness to be able to capture that side of somebody in a certain way. And I happen to have a class. That's kind of why I'm doing this. I have class to teach other photographers
Ah,
how
wow,
to
very
shift
good,
what they do just a little bit. They can
very
be
good,
expert
John.
at it soon so that they can truly serve their clients better, that the photo
Hundred
doesn't just
percent.
look pretty, but it actually works the way it's supposed to work to convert a potential client into a yes. And that's really the whole purpose of it. Not that it has the most beautiful. That's not going to get your client the job they want. To make it effective, to convert, for somebody to get them and say, yeah, I like you. I want to work
Yeah.
with you. That's really what the skill you need. And it's not, so I have a course and it's not that big a deal it's not, you don't have to be, you don't have to be a millionaire to do this.
Okay,
No, just have to.
tell us where can we find this course, and if people that are in love with our conversation, how can they find you? How this process work? Um,
I
tell
wish I
us.
could remember the name of the. I think
Ah!
it's get real dot photos. Get real dot photos. Get real dot photos. I hope that's the right
That,
one.
that, that that's
And
that's the website where the course is, right?
yeah, there's just an intro little $20 course there, and there's also there
Very good.
there's also a course for if you're single, if to add. So I have for if you're single to how to take pictures for yourself for dating that will actually
Wow.
do the job. And there's I also partner
Wow.
with a celebrity matchmaker that Carmelia Ray. She's a star in Canada, and we have a course, you really
Wow.
pretty cheap course just to make your dating work a lot better, and that's what we got for you.
Wow. That's amazing. John,
Get
really fun.
real dot photos.
Yeah. I think that women and men, yeah, there is sometimes for certain experience of life, um, somehow people stop to believe in themselves and people stop
Right.
to find this power and this confidence, right? And I think because I saw the transformation in the people that we have been working with. I know for a fact of my own experience the power that I have. What you just what what you're talking about, and also how many people can you help aside from the money, right? There is no money that can pay when you give back confidence to someone
Right.
that
Right.
that want
So here's
to.
so
You get
may I
paid in
interrupt you?
different currency, better than money.
May I interrupt you there, Harry?
Go for it. Yeah.
Here's what I'm really bringing to the photography world for photographers that really from their heart they want to change. They think that, oh, I can do this little thing. The client doesn't even know you're doing it. And if the client sees that photo, they can actually see themselves bigger than they thought they were. Right? But here's the thing, it's you don't have to do it selflessly like that. If you are that kind of person that will do that and take these photos, the photos will work better. They will actually now work better the way they're supposed to work. And so one, you'll be seen not just as a photographer, but you'll be seen as a marketing partner for your clients, and you're that's worth a lot more money. So even though you're doing it from your heart, it's actually worth more money to be a branding photographer than a headshot photographer. So it's worth it to go
Yeah.
that extra mile for your client.
Yes, and especially in this DNA that where personal brand is at the top
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
entrepreneurs. If you want to be in business, it's not only it doesn't work anymore about having a corporate brand. You also have to be because the consumer are getting very savvy now. They want to know
Yeah,
who really is the person
right.
behind this
That's
business, and if they haven't met you in person, they're buying from you online. They will look from you, they will search you, and all they're gonna find in photos of you, and that photo has to express
yeah,
the values and how you really are uh, in person, and what you really represent as an entrepreneur. So
absolutely.
it's not as easy as thing, and definitely guarantee. It just go there, have a good lighting and and
Right.
good
A
makeup,
lot
and
more than
just
that.
press a button. Yeah. Oh yeah. It goes way more than
Yeah.
that, and
But
to
it's
give.
not rocket science to learn the tricks. So I've eventually I have a 3 month program. You become the expert at
Wow.
going that extra second level.
Wow.
I
Great
call it second
program.
level headshots.
I recommend. Wow, second level headshot. Wow, definitely recommend everyone listening to this broadcast to have a look at this course. I'm telling you, it's gonna make a big difference in your business, right? We learned this in the hard way. We don't have your skill of your expertise and experience. We just learning the hard way, try and error. We notice some photos work, some photos
Right.
didn't work, and why it doesn't work. And then after we finally figure out for ourselves, then we tend to do it for our client. But
Yeah.
have been a big roller coaster
I bet. I bet.
of trial and error to try to unlock exactly one photo is one thing. A photo that represents your brand is completely different. Okay,
Absolutely.
and several photos that it doesn't stop there because we have a large presence in the social media. So now we need to have several photos of us, and then I have and 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 how the evolution also. Like for example, I before, yeah, we have a lot of photos. I have a lot of photos. I mean, they're all over the internet, right?
Yep.
And but I used not to before I didn't wear glasses, right? Now I wear glasses.
Uh,
So now we
yeah.
need to make the previous photo to match with the new ones, and people had to kind of identify, oh, this is the same person, just wearing glasses and
Right.
everything. So the whole thing
Right.
have become we are getting there and again new photos that align with the previous one, but now with my what we call it my new look, that it doesn't disattach from my previous look, so people don't think that we're a
It's
different
a
person.
different
I'm a
person.
different person. I'm exactly
Right.
the same person.
Right.
So a lot, John, a lot goes
Yeah.
into this, but it's all about when you're building a brand, you have to be aware. I always say, John, there are things that you know, and there are things that you don't know that you don't know. Okay. But there are other things that you don't know that you don't know that you don't know. And this is one of the things like the photo and the expression. We didn't know that could have an impact. And when we realize it and we are taking attention to this, our brand, the brand of Speakers and Leaders, my personal brand, Lily's personal brand, have grown uh, to the next level just when we are realizing um, the power of a photo that actually reflects who you really are, yeah, and how you are in person, yeah. That's why a lot of people that when they see my online stuff and they see me online, when they find me on the street, yeah, Harry, is that you? They hack me, they shake my hand, they want again to take picture with me, and I'm like, how these people they're so approachable. I never met them before, but again, they know that I am like this because the photos and the whatever they find online, they already know that I'm a person very approachable. That if you find me on the street, you can hug me. I'm gonna be okay with this, and I'm gonna hug you back. I'm all about giving love to all the entrepreneurs out there and to anyone that I can help. So that's amazing how you can by building your brand and it's aligned with who you really are, can actually your clients, your audience, your followers, they when they find you in person, they already they know that it's like they have a friend, and they treat me like a friend without, and they haven't met me before. And actually, I'm the friend. I'm very friendly. This is who I am. You see, I'm friend with everybody. So it's amazing how. And if any listeners, I strongly recommend you to have a look at John course. If you can we don't want you to become an expert. You don't need to have a PhD in the topic, but have some basic knowledge. Okay, how the power of this photo. If you are in business, mainly you're an entrepreneur and you have a brand, how you can lend some hacks, some tips that will make your photo more approachable, more aligned with who you really are in person, and at the same time enhance you so you look professional. That definitely is going to be a big win for your business. So John, thank you so much.
Thank you so
uh,
much, Harry. This was great.
I think you're brilliant. I think
Oh, thanks,
you're
man.
brilliant. Yeah, and in my next photo shoot, we will call you to think what you to ask you what you think.
Sounds good.
So thank you so much, and for all of you following the broadcast, our next episode of Unstoppable: How Brave Entrepreneur like John break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.